Hey everybody, so I just went ahead and did an reintroductory video, and I want to go ahead and do an update. I know I have been a little MIA here lately, but I have been trying to post videos, and I did post a lot while I was out of town, and but I never really did do a vlog on how things went, how the flying was, seeing the family. And then since we've been home over a month ago, a lot has happened in our lives, in my family's life. And I don't just mean in my household family, I mean in my family, like my dad's side of my family. Okay, so real quick, so we went to Maryland in August for 2 weeks, as most of you do know, and I did fly alone with a 3-year-old and a 4.5-year-old, and let me say, going through security with them was cake. It was amazing. They were amazing. Security guards were great. I mean, you guys know my anxiety was really, really bad, but it was cake work. I was ecstatic when it was over. I would do it all the time if I had to. The flying part, not so much. Well, I can't really say it was bad. It wasn't that it was bad. It was just long flight. If it had been an hour, maybe 2 hours, it would have been okay. For those of you who that do fly, and they know that when you fly east, the winds help, you can get there fast. You get there faster than when you fly back home, like to the West Coast. So our flight there was 4 hours, and we ended up getting there about 20 minutes. It was a little over 4 hours. We ended up being about 4 hours. The first 2 hours, the half of the trip was great. The other half was rocky. Luckily, Ryder did sleep. That half, that was the hard part. And let me just say one thing. When I flew to Maryland, I had myself and both of my children in the airplane bathroom by myself. Now, that's a success. Although I was holding Ryder, but when I had to use the toilet on the plane, I actually had to put him down. There would be no way to hold him and go. That's just weird. So I can do it, I did bring my laptop to watch videos, and we used it, but not a lot. Like, I think we watched maybe half of the video, and it's not that we got bored with it. It's just that when you fly, there isn't that much space, and the little trays that they give you to use, they're not that big, and I had one laying on me and one laying on me, and then I'm trying to get comfortable, and it just doesn't work. So it was uncomfortable. And flying home, it was over a 5-hour flight. It was about a 5-hour flight even, and it was a lot harder. And I was really worried about the takeoff and the landing part more than anything, because of how loud it is, and because you go from being on the ground to high in the air. I was really, worried about the ear pressure in their ears more so than mine. Sorry, I'm not feeling well this evening, but I know I'm way overdue for an update, so I want to try to get this out before I don't feel so hot anymore. Like, I get worse. So anyways, so I made, I had some juice in a cup for the kids, and Sadie had no problem drinking hers. And when it was time to take off, I said, Ryder, please take this cup, and he would not take it. And I was just like, this is going to be bad, and you know what? He had no problems. He didn't cry when we took off. He didn't cry when we landed. He did get a little scared when we landed, when we got back home. And, but that, other than that, the only problem that we really had was the second half of the flight, which, I could understand if I was 3 and 4 years old. I would be bored too. I mean, heck, I'm 25, and I was 24 when I flew, but I'm 25 now, and I do not like to fly because it's so long. And it's not like it's an hour or two flight. It's a 4.5, 5-hour trip. so it can get pretty lengthy, and it's awful. But we did see a horrendous amount of family. It was amazing. It was so nice to see everybody. I saw cousins and great aunts and uncles, and I got to meet my new baby cousin, and I had been waiting all summer to meet her. I got to see my parents and my grandparents and all kinds of people. It was great. Friends. I mean, I only got to see a few friends, but, you know, I saw the ones that really count. Like, the ones that have really been there for me. That, you know, have really, you know, been there for me. So, other than that, the trip was amazing. We do plan on returning in next summer. Probably in the beginning this year, coming year. Because Sadie will be starting school. So moving on, I have notes down here. That's what I'm looking at. Just so I don't ramble for a half hour like I did the last time. So Ryder started preschool. We got back on August 24th, and then we had a few days to recoup, and honestly, we were not jet lagged, and I am kind of ashamed to say that because we did not get on a schedule in Maryland. We stayed on our Arizona time, basically. Because, you know, I attempted a schedule, and then by the time they started to get on some kind of a schedule, it just was kind of pointless because we were just going to have to come home. And so we just we stayed up till 11, 12 at night, and we slept till 9 or 10 in the morning, which would be 8 or 9 p.m. to 6 to 7 a.m., so we didn't really get on a schedule. So coming home, the jet lag was no problem, which was great because the next Monday on August 30th, Ryder started preschool and made the transition process a lot easier for him. He has had no problems transitioning into going to the program. He doesn't cry for me. He doesn't cry for Ryan. He doesn't cry for anyone, really. He is really shy. Like, if you ask him for a kiss before you leave to go back, like to come home, he won't kiss you in front of, like, he won't give you a kiss on the cheek or a hug in front of his friends, which is kind of cute. I do try to steal a kiss from him before I leave, just because that's my baby or whatever, and I would do the same thing to Sadie. So he does receive speech therapy 3 days a week. And next time I do a vlog, I will show you his speech folder. It has like all his speech words that we have to go over. Like once a week he'll get an assignment where he has to say, the first week it was 6 words he had to repeat 5 times each. The next week it was 8 words that he had to repeat 7 times each, and so forth. And then he does little activities and things. So next time I do an update, I will show that to you. This week, normally his days are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. So he goes to school for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and we can drop him as early as 7:45. And sometimes we do drop him as early as 7:45. Getting in and out of the parking lot at his school is a disaster. The parking lot at his school is crazy, weird, it's set up confusing, really confusing, and I do not like it, and neither does my husband. And so we do leave our house a half hour before he has to be at school, even though it's literally 6 miles down the street. But everybody, it's not just preschool parents that are dropping their kids. It's preschool through 5th grade. So there are lots of cars coming in and out of the parking lot. And also there's teachers' cars that are in the parking lot as well. So it's a bit crazy. So we do sometimes drop him off at so early as 7:45, but we are